Davis called his cousin's death a senseless tragedy.
It's just that, man, it shouldn't have happened like that. It shouldn't have left this earth like that, man. That's all I'm saying.
Talking to reporters last Friday, Patricia Scott said she is consumed by anger over the killing of her son.
I think he should hang or die just like he killed my baby. I think he should die because he know what he was doing when he pulled that trigger.
Today, Deputy Scott is in jail on charges of murder and drug abuse. A county grand jury will take over the case this week. Friends of Jermaine Block say sometimes he may have run with the wrong crowd, but that he was a good person and did not deserve to have his life ended this way. This home video shows Jermaine Block wearing a white shirt, a kid who enjoyed close family ties. Witnesses say they saw Scott chasing his attackers, firing his gun randomly. Block was struck and killed 4.5 weeks before his 16th birthday. His mother says she won't rest easy until she sees justice served. In Cleveland, Tony Gaskins, News Channel 5.
And the story does not end there. The family says it does not have enough money to pay for basic funeral expenses, so a trust has been set up. It's the Jermaine Block Fund in care of the National City Bank, 4005 Chester Avenue, Cleveland, 44103.
The murder trial of Ted Soke continues today with a key witness taking the stand. Danny Crawford used to burglarize houses with Ted's son, Donald, and he says on 2 occasions Ted Soke tagged along as well. One of those times, says Crawford, was the night the Porters were murdered back in 1985. Crawford says no one expected trouble that night, and when he heard a woman scream and Ted yell for Donald, Crawford says he ran out of the house. Crawford maintains he is only a burglar, not violent, and certainly not a murderer. But defense counsel brought up the fact that he and Donald Soke had gotten into a fight in prison, and the defense asked, hadn't Crawford carved Donald up like a Thanksgiving turkey?
No.
Well, why don't you explain to the judges here how you did cut him up?
You just cut him on his chest. It's not like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Crawford is a key witness not only because he was there the night the Porters were killed, but because he says Ted Soke later confessed the murders to him when the two met up in prison. Crawford's testimony continues tomorrow.
2 Cleveland teenagers accused of killing one man and wounding a woman were arraigned on murder and attempted murder charges earlier today. 51-year-old Aguido Flores was shot dead, while 24-year-old Clarabelle Gonzalez was wounded outside a house on East 68th Street just over a week ago now. Police say 2 teenage boys, ages 13 and 14, were urinating on another house when Flores and Gonzalez confronted the boys with a baseball bat and a knife. Now, police say one of the boys then pulled a gun and shot both of them. The teenagers deny the charges against them, and they're being held in juvenile detention homes until their trial.
Bainbridge police continue looking for suspects in Saturday's murder of a gun dealer. Federal agents are concerned about an arsenal of machine guns taken by the killers. Bill Youngkin joins us now live from our 24-hour newsroom with the latest. Bill, any progress?
Well, Carol, agents from the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms have been doing an inventory of the gun shop today, and they don't like what they found. While many guns and rifles were left behind by the killers of 50-year-old Richard Zelenik, a number of machine guns like MAC-10s are missing.
Today we have been involved and are still continuing to conduct a very thorough inventory of the licensee's records and what it was that he did have on hand. We have yet to determine the total number of weapons that may have been taken. We have been able to determine thus far that there were perhaps 11 machine guns that are missing, as well as perhaps 1 silencer.
Bill Wood, head of the local ATF, says the machine guns are a hot item among drug dealers. Meanwhile, Bainbridge police this afternoon put out a composite drawing of the woman believed involved in Saturday's murder. She's black, in her 20s, and we're told she has scars on her legs. One man, another suspect, is described as heavy-set black in his 20s, standing about 5'9". The other suspect is a black or Hispanic with light skin. He had short hair and a mustache. Now, police believe the 3 suspected the gun store owner as he opened the shop on Saturday morning. His wife found his body a few minutes later. Carol?
Okay, thank you. Bill Youngkin reporting from the newsroom. Now, if you do have any information about the murder of Richard Zelenik, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number, 252-7463. There is a reward of up to $2,000 for anyone who can help.
Of all things, can you imagine taking a leisurely stroll right in your own backyard and then suddenly finding yourself 5 feet under the ground? That's precisely what happened to Catherine and Emery Dilley of Fairport Harbor. Mrs. Dilley cracked 3 ribs a little over 2 weeks ago, and a section of her lawn collapsed right beneath her feet. In fact, the same thing happened to Mr. Dilley 2 years ago, but he was lucky enough to climb out unharmed. Lake County sanitation workers spent the day digging up the Dilleys' backyard in hopes of locating a possible sewer line leak that may be causing the collapse. The Dilleys say they're frustrated by city and county efforts over the past couple of years to fix their sinkholes.
Well, I called the village service director, and he called the county, and they come out and dumped dirt in it and leveled it off, and that was it. And just filled up the hole and went on. They never see, tried to find out what caused it or anything. So, but they did come back and televise the sewer afterwards. They said they couldn't find nothing there. So that was the end of it till this happened.
A lawsuit is now pending against Lake County and Fairport Harbor Village for similar sinkhole damage done to the next-door neighbor's property.
Some major problems with the Ohio lottery to tell you about tonight. 1,100 lottery machines are down. They're out of service throughout the state. Lottery officials blame a power problem and are now trying to correct the situation. 3,100 machines are said to be working, but the officials say the outage will not affect tonight's drawing. And 2 people can thank the airbags in their car for helping to protect them during a head-on crash. It happened at the intersection of Broadway and Etna in Cleveland. Police say their car slammed head-on into a telephone pole and landed on a fire hydrant. Amazing as it seems, both persons were treated for minor injuries and released.
This is Glory Week for my hometown. They are gearing up in a big way for the biggest week of the whole year in Canton as the Pro Football Hall of Fame holds its annual enshrinement ceremonies. 5 players will be added to the Hall of Fame this Saturday morning. Over 200,000 people visit the hall every year, but each year when the hall adds more players, the Hall of Fame gets a little more crowded. The hall's directors say they are talking now about expanding the Hall of Fame.
See, the biggest single thing as far as crunch goes is handling iron shinies. The other things are not as critical because, you know, if you don't like a display, you can replace it with something else.
Elliott says fitting new inductees and exhibits into the hall in the next few years should not be a major problem, but expansion is needed, he says, within about 5 years or so.
Well, this is not exactly the time of year most people really worry or think about winter.
Nope, but a labor dispute that's going on right now could very well make for some problems come the winter season. More on that. Stay with us.
Here's what opportunity looks like. This is the Mazda Summer Savings Express. Get a Mazda LE5 with a Mazda Value Pack and limited time incentives. You could save up to $1,704. Grab these savings while you can. They're moving.
The Mazda Summer Savings Express at your North Coast Cleveland Mazda dealer now.
Some beer companies pour their money into commercials with beautiful women and fast cars, but at Genesee, we wouldn't think of doing something like that. We'd rather pour our money into golden color, smooth body, and obviously good taste. Wouldn't you rather have a Jenny?
Hey, get back in the car. Would you like to create some excitement in your bedroom? Then come to Block Brothers' fabulous one-week sale and decorate with quality bedspreads and comforters. Names like Wamsutta, Springs, and Cross Hill. Twin size regular $60, now just $19.90. Full size slashed at $29.90. And queen and king sizes just $39.90. Also on sale, big thirsty bath towels from Martex and Fieldcrest, 2 for $8.90. For a great selection at great savings, don't miss Block Brothers' one-week sale.
From News Channel 5, you are watching the news at 6 with Ted Henry and Carol Meekins, Don Webster with the weather, and sports director Nev Chandler.
Well, it's hard to imagine anyone today thinking about ice-covered highways and putting down salt on roads, but the more than 150 miners who work underneath Lake Erie are thinking about how long they can last on strike, getting $200 a week in benefits from the Teamsters Union. Alan DePietro brings us up to date on the strike, which is less than 24 hours young.
The salt miners were in an unusual setting today, sitting out in the humidity at the surface. not 1,500 feet below Lake Erie, digging out tons of salt to be used on northern highways in the cold of winter. The miners are members of the Teamsters Union and average a bit more than $15 an hour cash money. Part of their disagreement with the AXO company has to do with health insurance. Right now, AXO picks up the entire cost of health insurance, but now wants each married employee to pay $78 a month for coverage, in addition to paying a higher deductible. Right now, salt miners have a guaranteed 40-hour work week, regardless of how little they work. AXO wants to end that guarantee of 40 hours pay per week, which leads to yet another disagreement.
One of the things in their current contract is unless you get a minimum of 20 hours in, okay, your health benefits are not in line. So if we were to give them less than a 40-hour guarantee and they work our guys less than 20 hours, they don't have any health benefits.